Think about this. Every word you say is like a thread weaving the fabric of who you are. Consider it. The way you communicate isn't just about passing along information. It's a window into your thoughts, your emotions, your upbringing, and even the beliefs hiding in your subconscious. What if I told you that the words you pick, the tone you use, and the rhythm of your speech could show more about you than you ever planned to reveal? Today, we're digging into something that'll really open your eyes. By the end of this talk, you'll not only figure out why you speak the way you do, but you'll also uncover parts of yourself you might have never thought about. And the final revelation, it's the most powerful one yet. It might totally change how you handle communication from now on. Language isn't just a tool. It's like a fingerprint of your mind, a mark of your experiences, and a mirror of what's inside you. Everything from how we build our sentences to the words we naturally go for is shaped by deeper stuff. Our psychology, our surroundings, and even our biology. Remember a time you met someone whose way of talking grabbed your attention right away. Maybe their voice was calm and comforting, or their words had this vibe of authority that demanded respect. Now, think of someone else whose speech seemed all over the place, unsure or shaky. What was the difference? Was it just the words they used, or was something bigger going on? Here's the deal. The way we talk isn't some random thing. It's shaped by a ton of factors like how we grew up, who we hang out with, our cultural roots, and even how our brains handle info. Psychology's been digging into how language ties to who we are for ages. Take Sigmund Freud. He thought our speech habits often spill the beans on hidden desires and inner struggles. On the flip side, today's linguistic research shows our word choices and speaking style can clue people in on stuff like how confident we are or what's going on emotionally. Check this out. Studies say folks who toss in filler words like or like a lot aren't always unsure of their point. Sometimes it's just a brain trick to buy time while thinking. But if they overdo it, it can come off as jittery or wishy-washy. Meanwhile, people who pause on purpose and keep their pace steady usually sound more self-assured and in charge. What about the actual words, though? The ones we pick might be the biggest giveaway in our speech. Psycholinguistics research has some cool findings, like how word use can hint at personality. For instance, folks who lean on I and me a lot tend to be more inward-looking and tuned into themselves, while those who go for we and us often show tighter social bonds and a knack for empathy. Then there's the whole formal versus casual thing. Think about how your talking shifts based on who's listening. With a buddy, you're probably laid back, throwing in slang and easy phrases. But with a boss or in a work setting, you tighten it up. More polished, exact, and sharp. That switch isn't random. It's a learned habit, molded by social vibes and what we've picked up over time. Now here's something that'll really grab you. The way you talk doesn't just affect how others see you, it also shapes how you see yourself. There's this psychology idea called linguistic relativity that says language molds your thinking. Basically, the words you keep using can lock in certain ways of thinking or believing. If you're always putting yourself down with stuff like, I'm awful at this, or I always screw up, you might be training your brain to buy into those as facts. But if you deliberately switch to upbeat, powerful words, you could start building a tougher, more solid mindset. Take a sec to think. When's the last time you actually tuned into how you sound? Ever catch any habits in your speech that might be spilling more about you than you meant to let on? Pause and mull it over. Are you dropping words that scream confidence or ones that hint at doubt? Do you come across clear, or do your words sometimes fumble into a blur? Stick with us. We're about to dive even deeper into this awesome subject. Your speech has these subtle layers that go way beyond just words and tone, stuff that gives away hints about your personality, where you stand socially, and even how emotionally sharp you are. And believe me, the big reveal at the end is going to totally flip how you see communication. You ready to dig in more? Think back to your last chat. Did you really notice how you were talking? Most of us don't. We're usually locked in on what we're saying, not how it's coming out. But here's the kicker. The how often packs more punch than the what. Look at tone, for instance. Communication psychology studies keep showing that your voice's tone carries more weight than the words by themselves. Albert Mehrabian, a big-name psychologist, broke it down like this. Only 7% of what people get comes from the words, while 38% is all about tone, and a whopping 55% is body language. So even if you nail your word choice, if your tone's off from what you mean, people might not catch your vibe the way you want. Picture someone saying, "I am fine." Sounds basic, right? But hear it in your head with different tones. One cozy and comforting, another icy and standoffish, then one dripping with sarcasm. Same 3 words, but the feel changes completely depending on the tone. That's why some folks can grab everyone's attention without trying, while others can't get taken seriously no matter what. It's not just the message, it's how you bring it. Let's go deeper. The rhythm and speed of how you talk also shape how people see you. Ever notice how confident speakers slow it down, letting each word hit hard? That's no accident. When we're jittery, we tend to rush, like we're racing to spit it all out before our brain loses it, but that can make us sound shaky or unsure. A steady, deliberate pace, though, that screams confidence, control, and cool-headedness. It's why history's heavy hitters, like Martin Luther King Jr. or Barack Obama, get remembered for their smooth, rhythmic way of talking. They space their words out on purpose, with pauses that mean something. It doesn't just make their point stronger, it gives the crowd a beat to soak it in and think it over. What about regular talks, though? How does speed play into those? Studies say matching someone's speech style, like their pace, tone, or word picks, can build a real bond and vibe. They call it linguistic mirroring, this automatic thing where we tweak our talking to line up with whoever's around. It's a social trick, a way to feel familiar and trusted. Think about it. Ever hang with someone who's got a unique accent or style and find yourself picking it up a bit? That's not random. Our brains are built to connect, and talking's a key way we link up. That's why people with charm can put anyone at ease. They just naturally shift their speech to match the room, making what they say feel easy to relate to and pull you in. Let's chat about vocabulary for a sec. The words you throw out every day straight up reflect your background, your schooling, and even who you are deep down. Think about how language shifts, depending on who you're with. The stuff we say at work isn't usually the same as what we'd use with tight friends or family. That kind of word switching, called code switching, is something we all pull off, whether we notice it or not. Take someone who might sound all proper and slick in a job setting, but then kick back with old pals and drop into chill, slang-heavy talk. Being able to flip between those styles isn't just about fitting in, it's tied to identity. Each way we talk shows off a different side of us. But here's something even cooler. There's a link between your vocab and how your brain works. Studies say people with a bigger word stash tend to think in more detailed, layered ways. The words we grab onto actually shape how we see the world. It's tied to this thing called the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, which says language doesn't just spit out thoughts, it molds them. Basically, the more words you've got to pin down and experience, the deeper you can wrap your head around it. Look at emotions. And the final takeaway, it's the heaviest hitter of all, might just flip everything you thought you knew about talking. You ready to peel back the deeper stuff behind your own voice? Here's something to chew on. Ever since you came into this world, your voice, how you talk, has been molded by all these unseen forces around you. Your family, your culture, the people you roll with, even the media you soak up. Every one of those has had a hand in shaping the way you get your words out. But how much of it's really you, and how much is just a replay of everything you've picked up over time? Let's kick off with how you were raised. Research in sociolinguistics says the way we talked as kids got heavily shaped by how our parents or whoever took care of us spoke. If you grew up in a home where words flowed big and bold, odds are your vocab and knack for spitting out thoughts leveled up fast. But if you were in a spot where open talk got shut down, you might have picked up habits, like holding back or second-guessing, that stuck without you even noticing. Think about kids copying their folks. Not just the words, but the vibe. Check this out. Kids these days are coming up in a world where talking's gone all asynchronous. Conversations hit in bits and pieces with delays, not smooth, real-time, back and forth. It's messing with attention spans, how patient we are in chats, and even how we handle spoken words. Ever feel like you can't stay locked into a long talk like you used to? That's no fluke. It's what happens when quick replies and fast-paced swaps are the usual. But even with all this outside noise, one thing holds steady: your voice is still your own. Sure, it's been shaped by culture, family, society, and tech, but there's a real core piece that's just you. And here's the game changer. How you decide to use that voice can straight up steer where you're headed. Ever thought about how your way of talking could make or break your success? The words you pick, the confidence in your tone, the way you lay out your thoughts, they can swing doors wide open or slam them shut. That's why some folks can stroll into a room and own it with a handful of words, while others can't get traction no matter how much they yak. It's not just about word smarts or brain power, it's about purpose. Once you start clocking how you talk, you can tweak it, moving from just blurting stuff out to saying it with intent. As we roll into the last big reveal, we're about to hit something that'll shake things up. And here's the last, biggest wake-up call. Your voice isn't just for talking, it's for building. Every time you open your mouth, you're shaping who you are. You're either pumping up your confidence or dragging it down. You're either swinging doors wide open or locking them shut. You're either pulling people closer or pushing them away. So stop and ask yourself, what's the story my words are spinning? Is it one about guts, sharpness, and drive, or one stuck on doubt, fuzziness, and walls? It's your call to make. Starting right now, tune in, really tune in to how you sound. Zero in on the words you pick, the vibe you give off, the beat of your voice. Because once you notice it, you can switch it up. And when you switch up how you talk, you shift how people see you, how you think, and down the line, how you live. So now that you've got the real deal on your voice, what's your next move with it? Thanks for sticking around.